Welcome back to Cruising with Carla. Today we are taking a closer look at 1967's Car of the Year, this beautiful Mercury Cougar XR7. A car like this isn't just about power or style, it's about the stories it carries and the love it symbolizes. So buckle up, because this is a ride you don't want to miss.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Cruising with Carla. Today we have a special featured love story just in time for Valentine's Day. We're here with Linda and Hugh and their gorgeous 1967 Cougar XR7. Alright, so Hugh and Linda, thank you so much for sharing your love story with us and your beautiful car. I am super excited to get to know the little details about all the nuances of
How much detail?
of this lifetime romance. So let's go first. Why did you buy the car and how old were you when you bought it?
I started thinking of the car when I was 19, and my friends were either buying Mustangs or Camaros.
Okay.
And I always wanted to go against the crowd.
Yes.
For an example, when they liked the Beatles, I went to the Rolling Stones.
Oh, well, he's got great taste.
Right?
Yes.
And I just liked the look of the Cougar, so I started saving. For the color of the car, they all went to solid colors like blues and greens and reds, and I wanted something vibrant.
Ah.
And so it was a combination of one, I liked the car, but a little bit of rebellion.
Okay.
And I got the car.
You got the car. Excellent. Now, how old were you when you bought it?
When I actually closed the deal, I was 19 and a half.
Okay.
I paid $3,750 for the car.
That's like what, a tank of fuel nowadays for the month?
Well, yeah, and I put $1,700 down.
Okay.
And in those days, I was smoking. And a package of Players filter cigarettes was 37 cents. And a number 2 gas was 35 cents a gallon.
What? My gosh.
So some weekends I'd have to make a decision, do I drive or do I smoke?
Wow. So do you still smoke?
No.
Okay, that's good. Thank goodness, eh? And now, what were the color options for this car?
There is a variety, a lot of solid colors.
Okay.
Greens in particular.
Okay.
Whites, different shades of blue.
Okay.
Red. There was kind of black, of course.
Yeah.
So the traditional colors. The majority of the cars came with a solid roof, but I also wanted a vinyl roof because vinyl was beginning to become an in thing. It's no longer.
Yeah.
And so I opted with the vinyl roof.
Okay.
So actually I ordered it the way you see it today from the Mercury dealership in Dawson Creek.
Okay, so why don't we go ahead and take a look under the hood and you can show us what's under there.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Probably.
Well, we just went for a little premium, so she is.
So it's a 289 4-barrel.
Okay. Wow. So she is all original.
Original.
You can see right from the the felt underneath the hood. Yeah, I mean the boost. Great boost.
I think what it is most people, even the rad is the original rad.
Yes. I mean, even you can see the fan shroud. I don't know if you can catch it here in the camera, but the forward air conditioner. I mean, look at this. It's even got the tag on it.
Yeah.
Some other cool special features. I mean, what is this emission control system?
Yeah.
Look at that sticker.
Yeah.
I mean, that is original.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you noticed because not many of them had factory air conditioning.
No.
So this one here has the original. Yeah.
And I mean, with the XR7, what does the XR7 mean?
Well, so the difference, you'll have to go inside to see. Well, there's a couple of differences on the outside.
Okay.
And they're very minor, but of course you have.
Oh, you want to be near
You
her?
have the side.
Okay, hold on one second. She'll be there with you. Okay.
XR7.
Yeah.
And so the standard Cougar doesn't have that, and this is different.
Okay.
The main difference is the dash.
Okay. What do we do?
So the dash it's the wooden dash,
Yep.
and the instrumentation, including the instrumentation up by the mirror, and just the subtle of taking the wood grain onto the.
Yeah.
So
There we go.
it's basically upholstery differences. The really interesting thing I think about the Cougar, it's built on a Mustang frame.
Exactly.
It actually is a Mustang
Yeah.
with a different body.
All right, so let's start with the front grille here. Now, it's got some beautiful badging. It's one of your favorite features of the front grille there that distinguishes it from the Mustang. I like
The lights.
like that.
The lights are like eyelashes, right?
Hey,
Because
I
they
love that.
on left and right hand side, they flip up when you put the lights on. So they're like,
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're hidden now.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Okay.
that is cool.
It takes a while because it's actually a vacuum pump.
I did not know that.
Yeah, see? There you go.
And now, tell me something, a special feature about the rear here.
Okay, watch.
Show us something here. Like, I'm not familiar with these Mercury Cougars. Oh, look at those signals. Yeah. Wow, that's flashy for 1967, bud.
Yeah.
That's really
So
amazing.
it's called a sequential signal light.
Okay.
Sequential signal light.
Oh, wow. Love the wire wheels here. Maybe we can take a quick zoom into those wire wheels. Those are beautiful. I mean,
Yeah, so
was that stock with it, or
No.
was that an extra feature?
that was an option.
Okay.
The stock one was similar, but it was more smoky. But
Okay.
I like those.
Yeah. And I mean, look at that vinyl top. You can see the sheer from the sun.
Yeah.
Just stunning. And I like
Yeah, and the
little
only-
striping. Yep.
The only
Striping on
there's
it.
a little ripple there.
Yeah.
But this is like this is original.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I see you have a power antenna.
No, it's not power.
No?
Yeah, actually it broke,
Oh, okay.
so I have to get a new one.
Okay, so guys, or any one of you out there that has a power antenna, that has an antenna for a 1967 Cougar, you send an email my way and we'll get this fella
Okay,
fixed.
all right.
Okay? Now, does it have power windows?
Nope.
Okay, so it's manual windows,
Manual windows,
manual seats,
manual seats.
but you got the stereo,
Got the stereo,
you got the beautiful console,
automatic.
automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got that clock as well. That's a really neat and interesting clock. Like that's
Yeah,
really
and the other feature that's kind of interesting too that you don't see, and again, it was a feature of the XR7.
Yeah.
So if you notice here, like you have a series of toggle switches. They're amp, the courtesy light, the panel, the lamps, and then you have a panel up here too.
Oh, I see that.
And see here?
Yes.
Yeah.
And is that for lights up top
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. And I mean, oh my gosh, this thing
And
is made.
they're the original seats. Now you can see there's
Yeah, there's a
little bit-
tear over here on this
but
car seat.
I don't want to change it because it's
Oh no, that's the character of the car, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
the character of the
Yeah.
car. And you'll see it's got the factory air,
here's the factory
the
area.
air vents on both sides.
Yeah. But this is the main difference. I mean, the dash,
Yes,
it's
the
that
dash.
wooden look, right?
And is that actually wood or is it like
It's metal.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, look at the wipers. Is this manual wipers?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Oh my gosh. I mean, just stunning. And the courtesy lights at the back. Now, I mean, she is just beautiful. And she's got a 289.
Yeah.
for
And I also like
for
it
that.
too when you wind down all the windows, it gives the profile of the car just a
Yes.
little bit of a different look.
Yeah. Can you capture it that way? Yeah, it does change the profile. Absolutely.
Right?
And then we got the little vent photo windows here. You were talking about the
So they
automatic AC,
and they-
right?
yes, and they work.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
And
it's
so
a
the paint, the color of the paint is called Jamaican yellow.
Jamaican yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting back in those days. I mean, I was working for a telephone company,
Yeah.
and I thought I was rich because I was making $374 a month.
Wow.
So when you think of $374 a month,
Yeah.
financing close to, with tax, about $2,100 on the car. Luckily, I was still living at home paying a modest rent,
Yes.
but it didn't leave a lot of disposable income at the end of the month. To the point, I couldn't afford to put collision insurance on the car. So I drove the car without collision insurance, always fearing an accident, but thought if I drove carefully and it wasn't my fault,
Right.
if I did get in an accident, someone else's insurance would have to cover it. But it was a huge gamble that I took.
Wow,
Of
my
course,
goodness.
luckily the car didn't have an accident.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get that backstory of when you bought the car, why you chose the colors that you did. Now, Linda, did he have the car when you met him?
Yes.
Okay,
He did.
and what did you think of the car and the guy?
Oh, wow. Well, I was pretty smitten.
Oh,
Yes.
How about
and
you?
tell.
The car
I
or
think
me?
it was the car, right? Was it the car?
Me or the car?
Well, maybe a little bit of both.
Oh, yes. He had wheels and he was
He
cool.
had wheels. Yes,
Ah, that's
absolutely. Yes, and he kept it so spotlessly clean. Oh, I don't know how many times a week he washed it. But
So
anyway.
you knew he was passenger material then?
Oh, yes.
Ah, see?
Oh,
It's
yes.
important.
For sure. And we both worked at the same office, too.
Okay, so you worked at the telephone company as well? Okay.
Yes.
Is that where you guys met?
No, we
No.
actually met in grade 10.
And
Oh!
And we became good friends. In fact, we dated once in grade 10.
Okay.
But it didn't work out. I wasn't really interested in going steady with anybody.
Yeah.
And also we had different likes. Linda was a very studious student.
Okay.
I had a nickname of Skip, which kind of
Oh,
tells
tells
you
you.
everything. I hated school.
yes.
And so our friendship stayed as a friendship until we started working. And then I'll try and make this story short.
No.
Another friend of ours ended up working in the same office.
Okay.
And on paydays, Gary and I would go to a German restaurant, and our favorite food was Wiener Schnitzel.
Okay, I don't think I've ever had that.
And
Oh, it's delicious.
Okay,
on
we're
this
gonna have to
one
try
Friday, Gary looks at me and he says, "Well, when are you going to ask her out?"
Ooh.
And I says, "What are you talking about?" And he says, "Everybody in the office knows you're smitten over Linda."
Right.
And I said, "No, I'm not." He says, "It shows. You turn red when you talk to her." He said, "Everybody knows, right?"
Oh.
And I said, "But she's going steady."
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm not going to interfere." And he said, "You're a coward." I said, "No, I'm not a coward, but she's got a boyfriend. I'm not going to interfere."
Yeah.
And he says to me, "Well, I'm going to take care of it."
Oh, wow.
Not knowing what
Was he
that-
going to take the girl from
I
you,
don't know.
or was he going to get the girl for
So
you?
I go home, and about 10 o'clock, I get a phone call, and it's Gary. And he says, "I have arranged an appointment with you and Linda on Saturday at the Windsor Hotel cafeteria, and I expect you to be there, and I expect you to tell her how you feel about it."
Oh, my.
I've done my part, he says. Right?
What a good pal.
But I was going to say, what a great friend. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I put the phone down. I'm thinking, that son of a bitch. That's exactly what I thought.
Oh, my
And then I thought,
gosh.
how do I back out? I mean,
Yeah.
she has said yes.
Oh, wow.
And
So
so
you knew she was interested.
I knew, well, I
Right.
knew something. I didn't know
Yes.
what, right? Anyway, so we meet at 10 o'clock, and the meeting goes on for about 3 hours. And it was just
Oh.
very enjoyable. And I knew at that moment
Yeah.
there was a spark there. Didn't know where it was going to go.
Oh, my goodness.
And a couple of days later, she breaks up, and the rest is history.
Wow. And the rest is history in this beautiful car where all the memories started.
Right.
Well, yeah, not beautiful car in that we then got married, and we can get to that. The
Yes.
car played a pretty significant role.
Yep.
Not this car, but the identical car played a
Right.
significant role. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. So you guys start going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're working at the same place.
Yeah.
Now you were driving the car to work, I suppose.
Yep.
Okay, did you ever give her lifts to work?
Every day I picked her.
Oh, I see. Smart girl, I tell ya.
Yeah.
Actually, we saw each other
Every day.
I would pick her up. I would take her home. I'd go to my place for dinner. I would then leave my place, go to her place. We would go cruise every night or go to the show or go to the A&W.
A&W was
In
very
the
popular.
1967 Cougar XR7.
Yeah.
That's
and-
beautiful.
Yeah, and so that went on. And then I knew that I was just head over heels in love with her.
Okay.
And it's the day before Christmas or Christmas
Eve, yes.
And one of our favorite places besides the A&W was a pizza place.
Okay.
Yes. We used to go
And-
dancing there, have pizza.
Oh.
It was fun.
And they played good CCR music, and so we danced and we ate our pizza, and I had bought an engagement ring. And
Wow.
and I was fussing. I'd reached down in my pocket. I wanted to give it to her in the pizza parlor,
Yeah.
but I was just so bloody nervous.
And I noticed he
You
kept
did.
fidgeting.
You're like, what's
Yeah,
going
what's
on?
going
Something's
on?
different. Yeah.
So anyway, we finished our pizza, had a few dances. We go back to the car, and I fire the car up, and then I reach into my pocket,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I give her the ring in the car.
In the car.
Yes.
Oh my God. It is. I mean, it is such to me. I love old cars because it brings back that romance kind of era and nostalgia. But I've yet to meet a couple that, got together in this car and that have continued that romance and legacy. I mean, it's been over 50 years now that
Right.
you guys have been together.
57 this year.
57 this year, and you found the car back. So let's fast forward. You guys end up going off on your honeymoon
Yeah.
to where?
Oh, we went to Edmonton.
Yeah.
And then we went to Jasper, and we went to visit my side of the family in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
And then we headed back to
Dawson Creek.
Dawson Creek. But didn't we make a stop at a place where you were going on those boats?
Oh, we went to Banff.
Banff.
Okay.
Yes.
And you guys cruised in the XR7
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, so it became our honeymoon car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after the honeymoon,
Yeah.
what happens with the car? What happens with you guys?
Okay, so
Oh.
this is about 3-4 years later, we decided we wanted a family.
Okay.
That we didn't think the car would fit. And what also wasn't now fitting our lifestyle.
Okay.
We love the outdoors, we like fishing, we like camping, and so I traded the car in. Or we traded the car in
Yeah.
on a Ford Ranger pickup.
Oh, very different.
With
Very,
camper.
very different. Never had a pickup, right?
Okay.
But
And we
with the
bought a
camper.
camper.
Yeah.
And I guess about 2-3 years after we had bought the pickup, every time we saw a Cougar on the road,
Yes.
we almost tears in our eyes. Like
Oh my God.
we
We missed
missed
it.
the car,
Yeah.
and we said, we got to find it. But if we have to find the identical car. It can't be just an ordinary Cougar. We have, and so we began searching and putting out feelers to different people. And
Okay.
a friend of ours who had moved to Ontario by accident spotted this car,
Oh
this
my
very
God.
car,
Yeah.
Yes.
beside a house with a for sale sign.
No way.
And he phones us and I said, "Oh my God!" And he says, "It's the identical car. It's the same color. It's
Everything.
everything
Meant to be.
meant to
Meant
be."
to be.
So he took all kinds of photos and mailed. Of course, in those days, you have everything by mail.
Oh, right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what year would this have been?
This
About-
would have been
oh.
1974-ish, 5-ish,
Okay.
around there. And he sent the photos. We bought it sight unseen, actually.
Wow, that's quite the risk. But I mean, you had maybe the photos from your friend?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it
Yeah.
looked pristine, right?
Okay.
Yes.
And so the only thing that has changed on the car,
Yeah.
because it had a few chip marks from driving, etc. 20 years ago, got a fresh coat of paint. But everything else is original. Nothing has been
Original.
changed. There's a couple tears in the seats, and so we want it that way
Yes.
because it brings back all those memories. So it's like the car that we started our journey in,
Yeah.
even though it's a little different,
Yeah.
but it's the same car.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you like most about the car?
I love the ride. I love how it gets up and goes.
Yeah.
And I like the look of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how about for yourself, Hugh?
I know this sounds kind of crazy.
No.
I love the smell.
Yeah.
Because these old cars have a smell of their own.
Yeah.
You can smell the gas.
Yes.
And I think the reason why I like that, because it takes me back.
Yes.
It takes me back to a time.
Yeah.
I love the new cars,
Yeah.
but they don't have this character.
No, they don't.
You
The
know?
smell, the senses.
The senses.
And all the senses come alive.
And when you,
And the rumble.
and the rumble, and when you're driving, yeah, it's creaky, but it just feels different. I also think it's kind of interesting that even though we have air conditioning in the new cars,
Yes.
what I find really remarkable about these cars, you take your side vent windows,
Yeah.
you open them up,
Yes.
you point them inside. You don't need air conditioning.
You don't.
And the air flows in and it flows out.
Yes.
So I think it's all of that. It kind of takes you back to a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you balance the maintaining the history of the car and being able to create new memories with it?
I think we create a new memory every time we're in it.
Yeah. Every time you go for a cruise.
Every time we
Every
go for a
time.
cruise, and it takes us back.
Yes.
You know, just a funny little vignette.
Yes.
We had the car in for servicing shortly after we moved to Sydney.
That's correct. I was going to ask you about
Yes.
that. Yes.
And Linda made it very clear to the great mechanic who was working on the car.
Yes.
We need this car back on July 13th because it's our anniversary.
That's right.
And
I think you mentioned it to him. Right?
Yes, yeah, it was a
and
friend
in
of
fact,
mine.
you mentioned it. to
Yes,
her.
yeah,
right.
that's right. Because I met you guys.
That's right.
And I knew you guys had told me about your story
Yeah.
about the
Yes.
car, and I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta make sure you guys get
Yes.
this car back on time.
Yeah.
Right.
So we did. So that
Yes.
morning of our anniversary day, we go
Yes.
down, we pick it up,
Mhm.
and we get back here, and Linda says, we should go down memory lane, and I know there's not an A&W here, but there is a Dairy Queen.
Yes, there is.
Let's go pick up a hamburger like we used to do.
Yeah.
And even though they don't bring it out to us, but it kind of brought back the memories.
Mhm.
And let's go down to the beach.
Yeah.
And we'll just eat our hamburger.
Right.
And
Oh, my
we,
goodness,
we
yes.
pick up the hamburger and we're driving towards the beach, and the car starts hesitating.
We get to Tolusta Park,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, it stops.
Uh-oh.
And
And
it runs out of gas.
it runs out of
Oh
gas.
my goodness.
Runs out of
Oh
gas,
my
right?
goodness.
And so I push the car over, pop up the hood, and it tells you something about community.
Yeah.
And Sydney
And
in
so
particular.
people were stopping by, guys on bikes, motorcycles. You need a
Yes.
hand, you need a hand, and all volunteering to take me or go get gas, right?
Yes.
And a guy from the car club who I didn't know comes
Yeah.
by. And he
Yes.
says, "What's the problem?" I says, "We ran out of gas." He says, "You got a jerry can?" I said, "Yeah, in the back."
Yes.
Just pop in, we'll get gas, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I thought, wow. So Linda's on the phone. I
Phone
don't
to
know.
our kids, and I'm saying, guess what? It's our anniversary, our 56th anniversary, and your dad just left me on the side of the road
Oh my gosh, you guys.
with a car that's out of gas.
So she's telling me the story. I phoned our kids back and I said, "Okay, you want to continue with this story? 56 years ago, we ran out of gas a lot in the country."
Exactly. I was just gonna say, wasn't that kind of like something that you did back in the day? Oh, sorry, dear, I ran out of gas. Yeah, I don't think you ran out of gas not knowingly. I think you did it on purpose to recreate that.
Yeah.
So the point of all this, the memories continue.
Exactly.
The
Well,
other
that's
thing
fabulous.
that I really like about the car is the radio still works.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you
Yeah.
turn it to one of the old stations,
Yeah.
you get those tunes back, and it just takes you right back to that day.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Elvis in 1950
Oh, gosh,
60
yeah.
music, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know, right?
Jerry
That's
Lee
one of the
Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah, I love listening to the old classics.
Yeah.
It is really like being transported in time. People
Yes.
see you. It's so much more. You get in. The seats are even different.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it's just yeah.
Everything is different.
Yeah.
But it starts with the smell.
Absolutely.
Smell the gas.
Now, did you guys do a lot of driving movies? Did they have driving theaters up in?
Oh,
we did
yes,
actually.
we
Yeah,
did.
we did. We used to go quite often.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Do you remember the first movie you guys saw together?
It had to be an Elvis movie because
Oh,
she
yeah.
was crazy about Elvis.
Oh,
Yes, I was.
wasn't.
Right?
That's awesome. So I wanted to ask you one last question, And this is near and dear because this is a love story.
Yes.
It is a tremendous love story. And I wonder, how does this car and this whole journey that you've had with it symbolize your love, your connection with one another, and your lasting relationship?
Oh, wow.
I know, it's a bit of a deep
loaded question.
It is. Take your time. But yeah, I just thought, how does... There's got to be such a connection. Because I see it in your faces when you're telling the stories.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it coming out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see that youthfulness.
So for me, that's probably part of it. It kind of makes you feel young again, even though you know you're not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Also because the car has been around for so long and it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're not perfect either. So
No.
it's got a few dents, it's got some chips and everything else, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it's just like our marriage. Yeah, we've had ups, we've had downs, we've had a few chips, but it doesn't matter. The fact is, we're still here.
Yes,
The fact
absolutely.
is, we're still here standing beside each other.
Separate.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what the car, to me, symbolizes.
Mhm.
That if you take care of it,
Right?
right?
Nurture it.
You
Love
nurture
it.
it, you love it,
Yes.
good things happen.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Did
I
you want to
agree.
add anything else?
No, I agree.
Yeah, hey, that's,
Yes.
I mean, that's beautiful. And that's one of the reasons why I was eager when I met you guys and I learned about your story. I was like, I would love to be able to record it because I think to me, I love cars, but I more so love the stories. And I kind of wish that I would have had something like you guys have had, that I'd been born back in the earlier days and enjoyed the cruising, enjoyed the movies and the romance that came with it, and lifelong romance.
For sure.
So you guys are really an incredible couple. I think our fans are gonna love the story, and I just want to thank you both for entrusting us with this beautiful story and your beautiful car.
Thank
Thank you so much, you
you.
guys. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's the secret?
Oh, I think communication is a big one.
Okay.
Hugh will tell you, happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
Yes. he says that a lot.
I don't know. For me, she's my best friend. And I think I'm her best friend.
Yes,
And
you are.
I think that's the secret.
Yeah.
We were friends. It's interesting when I think that. We were friends first,
Yes.
and we're still friends.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean we agree on
Yeah.
everything,
No.
but we're friends. And Linda, she probably forgets this, but she got this from her grandmother. And I remember early in our relationship, after we were married, she said, my grandmother used to say, never go to bed without resolving the issue you have in front of you.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was such an important lesson.
Yeah.
Have we always been successful? No, but boy, when we've had those moments in our life, that's when you deal with it.
Yeah.
You don't let it fester. You deal with it in the moment,
Yeah.
and then you go to bed. You're not bed angry and then wake up in the morning still angry.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much like if you have a flat tire, right? You don't let it sit there for months.
You
Yes,
can't
right.
drive your car on a flat
Yeah.
tire,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
motor's not working, it's pinging. Well, you stop it and you fix it.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's the same
exactly.
kind of thing. You
Yeah.
pay attention.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But after 56 years, he's still the love of my life.
Oh my God.
My passion fruit.
Oh. But you
Got all
know
the
what? You got the car, you got the girl, and you got the love story. What more can a guy ask for, right? It's a
It's a
win-win.
win-win.
He just couldn't wait to get her back on the hood. Hey? Stay tuned for more of Cruising with Carla.
Carla, she's the smart one.